Good morning, friends, and welcome. This is day 7 of the Mindset Reset, and we are officially halfway through this 14-day challenge. So I just want to really quickly go back and recap what the first 6 days were about before we jump into day 7. So day 1, we committed. We took time throughout the day to commit to ourselves to show up for the next 14 days. Number 2, we talked about gratitude. We talked about looking at it in a different way, a more intentional way of looking at gratitude for things that we may not typically think are things that we can be grateful for throughout the day. On day 3, we talked about taking responsibility. We talked about the fact that our mindset and our happiness is our responsibility and how powerful that can be when we can take back our power. On day 4, we talked about reframing. We talked about taking those negative thoughts and finding a way to bring them to the next level where they can be of better service to us. And then on day 5, we talked about dreaming and letting our imagination run wild with what our dream life would look like. Yesterday was day 6, and we just moved our body. We just let the thinking mind go and just get a reset, and we moved our body throughout the day. Congratulations to you for showing up for yourself for 6 straight days and now for day 7. So today I want to talk about stress and anxiety. Not something you would maybe think about in a 14-day mindset reset, but often when we're thinking about doing a mindset reset and coming up with positive things, we may think that, man, if I can change my mindset and get to a more positive one, then I'm going to eliminate some of the stress and anxiety that I'm feeling in my body and in my mind. But here's one thing that I want to offer you, that stress and anxiety is not always something that you want to just quickly eliminate, because those two things can be like a guidepost to something that you need to take a deeper look at. If you're feeling stress in multiple situations throughout the day or any given situation, what is it that's causing it? Is it the people in your world in that moment? Are there things that you're constantly feeling like aren't aligning with you, so it's causing stress because your values are not aligning with the people around you, either at work or in your social circles? When you get yourself in a particular situation, are you feeling stress? When you think about going into particular situations or about having to address certain topics in your life, does that cause you anxiety? Like you almost want to avoid it because there's so much anxiety built up around it. Those are things to pay attention to. We don't always want to dismiss them and try to just be happy and forget that they're even there. We don't want to hide or cover up our stress and anxiety. We want to use them as guides, as a guidepost, as a like a direction, like, hey, look over here, look at what's going on, what's causing this stress and anxiety to show up for me. They're tools that your body gives you naturally. So rather than trying to ignore them, which is easy for me to try to do because I don't like feeling stress and I don't like feeling anxiety, but they show up, and let's figure out why. Why are they there? Here's the thing. Sometimes we want to instantly be happy. We want to instantly have this quick fix of what can I do right now to instantly be happy. And it's a work in progress. And sometimes it's going to take tuning into those negative emotions and those negative feelings of stress and anxiety and finding out what the deeper cause is. They're not bad. They're not They're not bad. All feelings and emotions are part of who we are, and we need to learn how to feel them and how to utilize them to help point us back in the direction that we want to go. So that's my encouragement for you today. And another thing that I want to remind you of, a lot of times if somebody isn't doing well, we want to try to fix the person, even if it's ourselves. If we're like, man, I'm not doing great. Like, what am I doing? What am I screwing up? What am I not getting? Like we want to beat ourselves up because we're not doing something right. The same thing if we see something with somebody that we love or somebody that we know, and they're not thriving like we know that they could or should. We instantly try to figure out what's wrong with them. What's wrong with them? But I heard something beautiful, and so I'm going to share it. And it is that when we are trying to get a flower to bloom, and if it's not doing well, if it's not blooming like it needs to, we don't ask what's wrong with the flower, but we ask what's wrong with the environment. Where does it need to be replanted in order to thrive? The environment is so vital. So if you are struggling to thrive in your life, look at your environment, because your environment can have a really strong and powerful impact on your mindset. And that's what we're working on. We're working on our mindset. So think about it. The people you're around, the environment you're around, how are they impacting you? Take a little time to evaluate, and I will see you back tomorrow morning. I love you, friend.